Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Stargirl. Now, I thought of doing this video for a long time. However, I wanted to wait for more teasers so I could confirm whether I was right or wrong. So essentially, today's video will be a theory on who Janitor Justin could potentially be in Stargirl. Now, this isn't 100% confirmed, however, I'm like 99% confident that this is correct. And for the video, I'll be going over all the teasers we've had at first about this character and some Easter eggs that you guys would have missed. And then toward the end of the video, I'll be revealing who I think Janitor Justin could potentially be and who he is in the comics. Before I go over that, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Now, spoiler alert, I guess, in case you guys haven't caught up with Stargirl or haven't watched the latest episode, you have been warned because I'll be talking about the teasers given to us, and so it pretty much counts as us going into spoiler material. Okay, so the Janitor was a very mysterious character since the first episode, and he's been emphasized a lot for no reason. And his name is Justin, and it is just pretty awkward how he was given some interesting roles to play throughout the series. He was just very creepy because of that, because we know nothing about him, and he just looks at Courtney in some dangerous way every single time. And we saw him suspicious of Courtney as well for destroying the school logo as well. And it almost seemed like the Janitor knew exactly who Courtney was. And it was pretty weird because how could he possibly know that Courtney is Stargirl? Now, when you encounter him, you come across his hat that he always wears. Now, at first, you'd think it's just a random hat of a horse or Pegasus. So I let that pass for a bit because it could have just been a random hat. But when giving it more thought, his name is Justin, he's suspicious of Courtney, and has a Pegasus hat. Could he potentially be who I think he is? But then things got a lot more interesting when we come across this quote. There are dragons under the sea. Now, Janitor Justin said that quote when Beth bumped into him in episode 5. And then when he talks about that, you'd think that he's some kind of superhero in the past, possibly Camelot in the 6th century, because he's very old-minded. Now, this is really what made me suspicious about his identity, but what really gave it away were these 3 last teasers. So, in the latest episode of Stargirl, which is episode 7, we came across the janitor's cabin in the school, and we see he's got some Pegasus calendar, and then we also get to see his sword, which is potentially the enchanted sword, if this character is who I think it is. So the fact that the Pegasus was indeed Winged Victory was actually confirmed for me. Now, that isn't the janitor's name. Winged Victory is actually the name of the Pegasus that the janitor used to know and used to ride, and I'll get to that in a second. We then see him save Courtney with his enchanted sword from the hands of Shiv. And so he had some incredible fighting abilities, so it confirmed that he potentially is a former superhero said to maybe protect the JSA. That part we don't know. Now, the janitor does also know about the JSA, as number 1, he probably knows that Courtney is Stargirl, and B, he definitely knows that Pat is Stripesy. And the fact that he knew about Pat literally gave everything away. Now, the janitor's name is Justin, and surprisingly enough, the character I'm thinking of is called Justin Arthur, or Sir Justin, and he goes by the name of Shining Knight. Now, he was a former member of the JSA, however, I don't think that they're going to do that in the show. He is indeed from the 6th century, but I'm not going to go over everything about him because there is a lot. But essentially, the main things you need to pick out. He wanted to become a Knight of the Round Table in Camelot, and he encounters this wizard, and this wizard basically enchants his equipment, and so this made him extremely powerful from his war capabilities. and his enchanted sword can literally cut through anything. His horse, which is called Victory, was also enchanted, and it gave it the ability to fly, which is where the name Winged Victory comes into play. However, while in a fight, I think it was against ogres or something, Shining Knight got frozen, and he was frozen for 1,300 years, so yeah, that is a lot. He was then found by a scientist in the 1940s in America. Now, obviously, due to this, it will be hard for him to adjust to those circumstances, so he chose to be a vigilante instead and to uphold justice, known as Shining Knight. His arch enemy is Dragon King, who is in the show as well, and that is due to him murdering one of his friends during his time in the Seven Soldiers of Victory, I think it was. Him and Pat Dugan do indeed know each other and are friends in the comics, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise that he was able to recognize Pat as Stripesy. Now, he doesn't really have powers apart from his enchanted armor and his horse Winged Victory. Now, you also need to take into account that in the show, the JSA are from a different timeline than they are in the comics. The JSA are nearly in present day, they're in the 21st century. However, in the comics they aren't, they're from the 1940s. So I'm guessing instead of maybe this janitor waking up at, let's say, 1940, he wakes up during the time the original JSA was around, and so this would mean that he would know most of them from that. And so yeah, basically I think that Janitor Justin is actually the superhero known as Shining Knight. Now, will we see this character suit up fully as Shining Knight? We probably would, because like him with his enchanted armor, it's not that hard to do. However, the Pegasus would be mad expensive, and it is a risky thing to do with the budget that Stargirl has. I mean, it is a high budget TV show, which is great, but it would just be very risky for them to do the Pegasus once in a while. So I'm not sure if they will bring in Winged Victory, but we could see Janitor Justin as Shining Knight. But yeah guys, this is pretty much it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about all of this. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.